Hey guys, it's Liam, and today we're going to talk about whenever somebody asks me this question, are you a Christian? And how I respond to it, and how what it means to me to be a Christian. Usually when people ask me, it's not a short answer. It's not a yes, yes, I'm a Christian. Yes, I believe that Jesus came, died on the cross for my sins, rose again. It's not a simple answer for me. Why? Because going back to the other video I posted a little while ago about stereotypes, I want to abstain as much from that as I possibly can. And another, it's, I don't really want to say a stereotype, but something that's very true, very relevant in the American church today is Christians are religious. You know, I'm not religious at all. With my relationship with Christ, there's no religious stuff in there. It's all about relationship for me. No, yes, some religious stuff can be good, but I feel like religion has a lot to do with tradition as well, and just kind of doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff, going through the motions, and you know, it can be very symbolic. Just like a wedding ring is very symbolic. But I mean, if you're getting married just for the ring, and that's I kind of feel like that's what a lot of the churches are doing nowadays. They go through this ceremony just for the ring, but not really for the relationship with God. And when I was younger, I I didn't really understand what it meant to have a relationship with God. I was a Christian. I believed in God. I believed in Jesus. I went to church since I was. I don't think I've ever not gone to church. But I mean, I understood that, but I didn't understand what it meant really to have a relationship with God. I was all into religion. I'd go to Sunday every week, dress up. Go to church every Wednesday, and it was kind of just going through the motions, kind of just doing whatever. But November of last year, God started getting a hold of my heart a little bit. No, it was way before that actually, but November of last year is something very significant in my life. But God started getting a hold of my life, and He first started talking to me about prayer, and how superficial prayer is a lot of the times. And God calls us, God calls Himself our Father, and we wouldn't walk up to our dad and say, "Oh, Father, thank you for providing for the family. Thank you for providing this breakfast for me. And I would like to ask you if I could have $20 for this weekend." We wouldn't say that. We might butter them up a little bit, but we wouldn't like use all these huge words. And we wouldn't do that with our father, with our earthly dad. So why do we do it with God? And I made a reference to this in my other video, Matthew, I want to say 5:18, not completely sure, but it's when or God is revealing Himself as Abba, which is an intimate word meaning daddy, loosely translating into daddy. That's who He wants to be. So a while ago, God really started redefining what prayer meant in my life, and that it's an intimate thing between, well, in my case, a man and God. And if a woman is watching this, a woman and God. But it's an intimate thing, and we don't need to be messing around. We don't need to be making ourselves look like we're something other than we're not. We just have to come before Him honestly and 100% who we are before God, and that means more to Him than if we pretend to be what we're not. You know, I'm wrapping this up real quick. Yeah, I just talked about prayer a lot, but wrapping this up real quick, I'll tell a story. I went to one of my friend's concerts. It was a like a school Christian school concert, and at the end they had this pastor come in and pray, and he kind of did that traditional Christian. I think it was like I'm not even gonna say that, but it was like a super traditional prayer, and he was like using these big words, and I honestly got really upset. I felt like it was just so fake and almost rehearsed. It's like God doesn't want that. I can promise you, God does not want a rehearsed prayer. It's important. It is important for us to realize how majestic God is. And it is important for us to share that with others. And it is important for us to pray together. But it needs to be real. It needs to be real. And if we've gotten to the point of just normalcy in our walk with God, something needs to change. So if someone asks me if I'm a Christian, um, I I like to think that I don't live up to any of the stereotypes. That I try and I do my best to be completely honest, 100% straightforward and real with people and real with God. There are days that I've I've been so upset and I've been cussing out God, and I feel like He is more okay with that than if I just pretended everything was okay with Him. You know, so yeah, just something to think about within your life. It's like, what does it mean for you to have a relationship with God? And between religion and relationship, there's a fine line that needs to lie there. But yeah, so just think about that a little bit. God desires. There's one thing. God desires your presence. God desires your presence. Think about that. All right, thank you for watching. If you did like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up down there. And if you're new to the channel and you would like to hear more about stuff like this, then go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and leave a comment. Tell me what you think about this. If you have any ideas for a future video, if you have anything else you want me to talk about, go ahead and leave that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and God bless.